Okay, so first things first. If you've saved $20,000, I want you to just take a second and be seriously proud of yourself. No, really, that is a massive achievement. You've done something incredible. So let's dive in, because what you do next, well, it's absolutely critical.
This didn't just happen by accident. Let's be real about what it took. It took discipline, it took restraint, it took this thing we call delayed gratification. Choosing the future you over the you that wanted something right now, day after day. Trust me, you've already done the hardest part. Just look at that number, $20,000. That's a huge milestone. For a lot of people, this is the first time money stops being just about paying the bills and it starts being about creating opportunities. This is your foundation.
But, and here's the thing we have to be honest about, this is also the most dangerous part. Because 20 grand can feel like a lot of money, and it is, but it can also disappear in a blink. A down payment on a car you don't need, one over-the-top vacation, a risky investment tip from a buddy, and poof, it's gone. You're right back at square one, just wondering where it all went.
So this is it. This is the moment. The question that's going to define your financial future is staring you right in the face. What's your next move? And this isn't just about what should I buy. It's about having a real strategy. And that's exactly what we're going to build together, right here, step by step.
First up, Section 1. Protect before you grow. Look, this is probably the most important rule in all of finance. Before you even think about growing your money, you got to make sure it's safe. Because here's the deal. Money only compounds if it survives.
Okay, so this right here, the emergency fund, this is your financial fortress. It's the bedrock. This fund is what stops you from making stupid, emotional decisions when life throws you a curveball. Think about it. If you lost your job tomorrow, this is what lets you breathe. It buys you time. And in the world of money, time and breathing room, that's power.
So what does that actually look like? Let's break it down. Say your essential expenses, we're talking rent, food, utilities, are about $3,000 a month. Well, that means your target for this fund is somewhere between $9,000 and $18,000. So if you're not there yet, job number one for your 20 grand is building that wall of protection.
Now this slide it's a game changer in how you should think about money. If you've got high interest debt, like on a credit card, paying it off isn't just an expense. It is the single best, guaranteed investment you can possibly make. I mean, think about it. The stock market might give you 8% in a good year. But paying off a credit card that's charging you 22% interest, that's the same as earning a guaranteed 22% return on your money. Tell me, where else can you get a guaranteed return like that? You can't.
All right, so once your fortress is built and your high-interest debt is gone, now the real fun begins. This is where we switch from playing defense to playing offense. You've earned the right to choose your path to building wealth, and man, there are some amazing options. We've got 4 main paths on the table. There's the slow and steady route with index funds, the absolute superpower of tax-free growth in retirement accounts, the leverage play you get with real estate, and one that people often forget, investing in yourself with income-producing skills. We'll get to how that fits into a blueprint later, but first, let's look at those big 3 investment vehicles. And this right here is why we invest. This is the magic of compounding in action. Let's say you take just 10 grand of your savings and put it into a simple S&P 500 index fund. If you just leave it alone, don't add another penny, based on historical averages, that 10 grand could double in about 10 years. And in 30 years, it could be over $100,000. This is it. This is how normal people build incredible wealth. It's not sexy, it's not fast, but wow, is it effective? Okay, let's talk about a financial superpower, taxes, or more specifically, not paying them. A Roth IRA is basically a special account where your investments can grow completely, 100% tax-free. Remember that compounding chart we just saw? All that growth? Now imagine all of it, for decades, being totally shielded from the tax man. Especially if you're in your 20s or 30s, this is an absolute game changer. Over time, this tax-free growth can mean hundreds of thousands of extra dollars in your pocket at retirement. It's incredible. Think you need a fortune to get into real estate? Think again. There's this awesome strategy called house hacking that can get you in the game. Here's how it works. You find a duplex, you use a special loan to put down a small amount, maybe just $7,000 from your 20 grand. You live in one unit and you rent out the other. Suddenly, your tenant is paying a huge chunk of your mortgage. You're building equity and you're slashing your own housing costs at the same time. Yeah, it's more work than an index fund, but the payoff can be massive. Okay, we've seen the upside. Now we have to talk about the traps. Because as soon as you have a chunk of money, you become a target. a target for bad advice, a target for your own worst impulses, and a target for some really common wealth-destroying mistakes. Let's make sure you see them coming and sidestep them completely.
This slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? The opportunity cost. That shiny new luxury car feels amazing for a few months, right? But it is what we call a depreciating asset. It is actively losing you money every single day. The money you could have invested instead, that's a growing asset. After just 5 years, the difference in your net worth isn't just a few bucks, it is enormous. One choice takes you up, the other takes you straight down.
And here's the other big trap: thinking that sitting on cash is safe. It feels safe, but it's not. There's this silent thief called inflation, and it's eating away at your money's value every single day. Leaving that $20,000 in a regular checking account is a guaranteed loss. You're literally getting poorer over time. Your money has to be working for you, otherwise it's shrinking.
And finally, please, avoid the temptation to get rich quick. That crypto coin that everyone is yelling about, your friends can't miss restaurant idea, these are gambles. They are lottery tickets, not investments. Look, the key is to build your solid foundation first, using the stuff we've already talked about. Maybe one day you can speculate with a tiny bit of fun money, but not with your core 20,000.
So, we've got the rules, we've got the options. How do we pull this all together into a real, actionable plan for you? Let's walk through 2 sample blueprints to show you exactly how you could put your 20 grand to work depending on where you're at right now.
Okay, let's look at blueprint number 1. This is for someone who's just starting and needs that foundation. If you don't have that emergency fund yet, protection is priority 1. So you take a big slice, maybe $15,000, and stick it right into that high-yield savings account. Boom! Fortress built. Then you start your investing journey with a smaller piece, say $3,500, in a Roth IRA. And you take the rest, maybe $1,500, and you invest it in yourself. A course, a certification, something that can boost your income down the line. It's a smart, balanced, defensive start.
But what if you've already got your emergency fund squared away? Well, now your blueprint looks totally different. Now you can go on offense. You might put 10 grand into an S&P 500 fund, another 5 grand into an international fund to get some global diversification, and then you keep the last 5 grand in cash as an opportunity fund. Why? So when the market takes a temporary dip, and it will, you're ready to buy in at a discount. See? Simple, strategic, and primed for growth. All right, I want to just zoom out for a second here. Because the number, $20,000, it's important, yeah, but it's not the most important part of this story. Not even close. What you've really built is so much more valuable than just a number in an account.
This is what it's all about. The real asset you've created isn't the money. It's you. It's the character, the habits, the discipline you forged to get here. That skill, the one that got you to $20,000, is the exact same skill that builds $1 million. You've already proven you have what it takes.
And here's the beautiful part. This is what happens next. When you put it to work, money is quiet. It doesn't ask for attention, it doesn't get tired, it just works. It works for you while you're at your job, while you're with your family, it even works for you while you sleep. This is the moment. You're shifting from working for money to having money work for you.
You haven't reached the finish line. You've just reached the starting line. This $20,000, it's the seed. It's the seed from which your entire financial future is going to grow. 10 years from now, you won't look back and say, I remember when I had $20,000. You'll look back and say, that was when everything changed. The next move is yours.